Hey, what's up guys? Brownie here coming to you with some more AFK Journey, and today we're talking about the new hero HUGIN. We're going to kind of go over his skills a little bit. I want to talk about the important stuff, and it'll be pretty quick, and then we're going to hop in and do some battles. Well, PvP battles I should say. Now the first thing I wanted to mention about this mechanized bond skill that he has, a lot of people seem to be putting more importance on this skill than they really need to, and it is a nice attack boost to whichever hero is directly behind HUGIN. As long as they're on that tile, they'll get this buff, and they'll get 75 energy every time he casts that Titan skill, which is this one right here. And it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's by far not the most important skill he has. The most important skills he has are his ultimate, his Titan skill here, and then his mythic skill. Followed up closely with the Supreme Plus skill, because this 30% damage reduction is massive. So any hero that has a cog shield, whether it's enhanced or a regular cog shield, is going to also take 30% less damage, and that's just huge. I mean, it's just so good. I can't stress enough. I mean, you guys know from Haywin and from Coco just how good damage reduction is. But anyway, the Titan skill here. It says HUGIN crafts a cog shield for the weakest ally, allowing them to block 660% damage for 8 seconds. So this is a huge shield. Blocks a ton of damage. It lasts for 8 seconds, and the cooldown is actually only 6 seconds. And it has an initial cooldown of 2 seconds. So 2 seconds into a fight, he's providing this shield to the weakest ally, which in today's meta, where there's so much burst, this is huge, especially for a hero that might get burned down really quick. This can save that hero's life and just completely change the outcome of a fight. And then on top of that, you have the ultimate, and the ultimate is providing a 10% attack boost to whoever's doing the most damage. So most of the time that's Harak or it's Dio. Those are the two heroes I mainly like to use with HUGIN on the team. And then it's also providing that hero an 80 haste boost, which is massive. I mean, 80 haste boost is going to speed up the animations of the skills the hero's doing by a ton, and it's just going to be extremely helpful, especially with heroes like Dio and Harak, like I said a minute ago. But the other really cool thing about his kit is the mythic skill, which says every time he does his ultimate, it's going to provide an enhanced cog shield for the 2 weakest allies, and that's going to block 850% damage with the level I have it at right now, and it's also going to grant them control immunity. So a super good mythic skill. Two weakest allies with a massive shield, control immunity, and yeah, I mean that kind of survivability. Oh, plus the damage reduction provided by the Supreme Plus skill. That kind of survivability is, I mean, it's just so good. And then on top of that, the ultimate here, it has an initial 600 energy, so he gets to his ultimate really fast. 2 seconds into the fight, he's providing 1 shield, and then since he has 600 energy, he's going to get to his ultimate relatively quick, and he's going to provide 2 more shields to your team, and that's going to just, it's just really good. I can't stress enough how good he actually is. So let's go ahead and hop into our friends list here. We'll find somebody to fight. I know Toxie has a team that I liked fighting against, so we'll go ahead and duel her. Now, we'll talk a little bit about positioning and all that kind of stuff, but what we got here is a Freyasto team with a Leica and a Dio and then HUGIN. And the cool thing about this is HUGIN and Leica will provide my Dio with 2 instant nectar stacks, and then he'll get the third one from whether you're using Enlightenment spell or Valor Shield, depending on what PvP you're doing. That artifact will provide the last nectar stack Dio needs to do his mythic skill, providing a super early mythic skill for the Harak to then, target a really low HP enemy and hopefully take them out, and that sort of, sends him on a chain reaction of just killing people over and over. It's really fun to watch. But anyway, what's going to happen here is we have HUGIN positioned, or we have Dio positioned behind HUGIN so that he gets his instant nectar stack. Now, Leica can be positioned anywhere. I just have her right there. We could move her over here, something like that. And we're actually specifically not using the special talent tiles in this fight because I don't necessarily need them to win this fight, which is actually surprising because the talent trial or the talent trees are active in this and they're using them, so they're going to be a lot stronger than I am. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, we're going to keep Leica behind the main body of Freyasto. We're going to give HUGIN the damage reduction from the illusion Freyasto. And then we have Harak over here to come around behind and hit the back line of the enemy and hopefully kill that Harak or kill the Dio, you know, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's just go ahead, hit battle, see how we do here. And hopefully we get a big mythic skill because that's what usually gets us the win here. And there we ended up killing their Dio with our mythic skill. We got a Leica active. Here comes the HUGIN active providing us shields. Our Dio is going to take out the middle here, and then our Harak is going to take out the enemy Harak. And here comes Scarlita, who will just instantly melt. And yeah, there we go. We got the win. So that went pretty well. We can do a quick replay of it so you guys can see a little bit better. You see the gears here underneath the Dio and the HUGIN. That just means that his buff, the mechanized bond buff, is actually active, and it's a huge buff for Dio. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that buff for him is massive, and it's really good. But if you're not using Dio or another stationary hero, you don't really need to worry about that skill. It's not a make or break skill, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go ahead, let's do one more fight against her, see if we can't get another win. It all comes down to pretty much how big the mythic skill from my Dio is, whether or not it can take out their Dio or whatever. But anyway, here we go, hit battle, and here comes our mythic skill, and boom, it didn't take out the enemy Dio, so this is going to be a loss for us. I'm not sure what happened there because the enemy Dio didn't even take like any damage at all. Normally he takes a ton of damage, and as you can see, the HUGIN, my HUGIN and my Harak almost ate that whole Dio active. So just keep that in mind, just how much survivability that actually is. Surviving a Dio active that long is hard to do. And I've also, here, let me just show you guys a PvP fight that I did so you guys can see just how strong his survivability is, because he was just eating Taline actives to the face. It's crazy. Been doing a lot of testing here. Let's go ahead and just check this fight out quick. So this is actually only a +5 HUGIN, but as you can see, he's doing it. He's got his initial shield out. He's gonna get to his active. Our Vala is gonna take out this Harak over here. Here comes the HUGIN active. So he's providing shields to the weakest allies, and he has a nice shield himself. Here comes the Taline active in a second, and 74 seconds that Taline active started. He's just tanking it all straight to the face. Scarlita slam happened even, and yeah, now he's doing another active. So I mean, look how it's 67 seconds. So that was what, 7 seconds of Taline's active straight to the face, and he didn't take hardly any damage. I mean, normally that active will it'll wipe out an entire team, but again, the survivability that he brings is so strong. But anyway, that's going to be about it for today's video, I think. I just wanted to kind of go over him really quick, show you guys a couple fights and what kind of stuff he can actually do. But yeah, if you guys can, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.